AC Cobras. It really is. We've got a couple of Alfa Romeos out there, MGBs, there's a Morgan in there as well, Ginetta. So it really is fun to see such a mix of cars heading out onto the circuit. They've got just under 25 minutes of qualifying to sort out the lineup on the grid.
These cars coming out at the back are probably going to have 3 minutes of the session gone before they get out on track. I did notice one of the last cars to come out through the garage there was the little Ginetta G4R of Ron Maiden, who is the chairman of Masters, who organised some of the races we're seeing this weekend, and he shares with ex-Formula One driver Mike Wilds.
Yeah, that's lovely to see Mike Wilds back out, a racer who's been around for such a long time, great career history, and a wonderful man as well, and
yes.
It's good that he's going to be competing this weekend. I noticed Tiffany Dell is back out again, along with John Spears. This time they're in a TVR Griffith. So Tiff's going to be having a busy weekend. We're doing the TV work and the
yes.
racing driving. He's going to be full on, isn't he?
And some great racing cars, but also road cars that are being used for racing as well. The Daytona Cobra Coupe, the white one you just saw going through there, and the one at the front there of the picture just going out of shot, they were built by the Shelby company to improve the performance of the Cobra, a more slippery shape, back to that old story again about aerodynamics, and it was designed and built and was very successful indeed. And only 6 were ever built. All 20 of them are running well now.
All 20. Yeah, it's funny how many more there are of such a great classics, isn't it? To get suddenly built up out of nothing. Yeah, but it is fun to see so many of these beautiful shapes of cars. And now that the track has dried out a bit, it's good fun to see them being pushed a little bit harder without quite the same concerns that we saw when it was wet and slippery earlier on. The bright sunshine is cutting its way through the clouds. We've still got plenty of clouds above us, but there is just a little bit more sunshine and a touch of blue sky just above us right now as we look out of the window at the Abbey commentary position. And notice that still a little group of people in the grandstand over there, and it's nice to see opposite us as well some people in the grandstands over there. So people are enjoying watching the qualifying, seeing these cars fly around and delivering all sorts of different activities. Somebody running wide immediately through Abbey Corner just in front of me there.
That was David Smithies in his Daytona Cobra Coupe.
Didn't quite work out, but even with that very busy field, there's 53 cars in this group that have now gone out there. So I think there's more than 53. By the time they come around, I think it is going to be nearer 60, to be honest. They just haven't all done their official outlap yet. 158 that we're looking at. That's Mark Pangborn in the Austin Healey 3000. We saw a couple of those earlier on as well, didn't we? Callum Lockie, I see, is back out again. So he was busy in the last one. He is so flat out, isn't he? He's in so many of the cars this weekend. He's in a Shelby Daytona Cobra, and he's just, I don't know how he jumps from one to another so quickly.
We're looking at John Spears and Tiffany Dell's car there, the TVR Griffith 200. That's got the 4.7 litre Ford V8 engine slotted into the front of that plastic-bodied car, and a very quick machine it is indeed. There's quite a few of them running in this race. They are very competitive in this class, and that's going to be shared by John Spears and our own Tiffany Dell, and he's being followed by the 144 George Potchkill and James Hansen Daytona Cobra Coupe, finished in cream. Most of them seem to be a sort of dark blue colour, but they've chosen cream for that one.
Initial fastest lap is for the Callum. Oh dear, the number 144 cars had a bit of a moment. The George Potchkill, James Hansen Shelby Cobra. Oh, that was he just lost it on the brakes, I think, and snapped around on him.
It did, yes, into Village, which is a tight corner, but yeah, as you say, it just swapped ends, but no harm done, and a little lesson learned for next time around. As we look again at the John Spears Tiffany Dell car, that's John Spears, I think, in the car, black helmet, John Spears. Tiff always uses that orange helmet, it's very obvious. So John, the owner of the car, taking it for the first part of the session.
Sliding around nicely though, good use of car control there, and see whether they can end up in a good competitive position. Their first lap already putting them 8th fastest, but lap times are improving, seeing plenty of improvements as we head on around. Thomas and Lockie, their car, that Shelby Daytona Cobra, fastest at the moment, and see whether it's going to be setting quick sector times. Not yet. Nigel Greenstall is back out again in this event, so a lot of drivers that we've already seen are back out once more in this one.
And I think the second fastest car, the other Daytona Cobra Coupe, we saw it spin a minute ago. I think looking at the time on the screen for that car, that'll be James Hansen who started that. George Potchgell, the owner of the car, will take it over.
Right, there's a slightly different car there, number 321. That is Hans-Jörg Hausner in the Alfa Romeo Giulietta Sprint Veloce. So that's just a 1300cc engine from back in 1961. Not going to be the front runner, but again, it's lovely to see that level of variety. So, let's have a look. We've got the number 500 car just coming through. Ben Gill in his Shelby Cobra. But this is the car that is currently setting the pace, number 192. And their pace of 2 minute 30.2 is currently over 2 seconds faster than anyone else.
Just to comment there, Ben, the caption showing a Ford Falcon, that's actually for a later race for Thomas and Lockie. They're out again, but in this one they're in the Daytona Cobra Coupe, as we can see there, with the white arrow head on the front of it.
Yeah, so let's have a look and see if they can go even quicker on this. The Cobra Coupe, very different looking car, isn't it, to the sort of straightforward AC Cobra, but aerodynamically faster. Good, of course, for Le Mans, that long Mulsanne straight back in the day, trying to gain a bit of straight line speed. But as you can see on power, it's still a little bit unstable, wobbling around. Holding with it for now.
There's a story that I believe is true, is that the engineers at Shelby went to Carroll Shelby and said, we think we can build a bodywork that will be quicker for the Cobra. And he said, oh, we'll use that old scrap chassis there that we crashed. And they built up a car from that old chassis and put this bodywork on it. And it was very much a time where there were no wind tunnels and so on, so they just thought about an idea and chopped a bit off and went out on the track again and came up with this, and it was very successful. And of course they built then the 6 team cars.
Well, it certainly, yeah, it does look very different, but it does work. And aerodynamically, it might not have had wind tunnels, but they did a good job with it, didn't they? So, good effort. Good first sector from them. Second sector, not quite as fast. So, whether they're going to be able to hold on to that provisional pole position, we'll have to wait and see. Costas Michael and Chris Ward have moved up to second in the E-Type. Only a fraction behind. They're only a 10th behind them so far. Second place currently. But there is still a chance in this final sector they can find a little bit more time. Let's see, out of the last corner. Not sure this is going to improve on what they've done, but oh yeah, it does a little bit, 2:29.1. So that just goes a bit quicker. They gained about a second there. So that was a decent lap. A little bit more still to be found, I'm sure. E-Type Jaguar in second place at the moment. Then we've got a TBR Griffith in third place. And then the Pearsons running together in their Jaguar E-Type. They're next up. John and Gary Pearson. They're running in fourth place currently. Just moving up into fifth place, James Cottingham in his Shelby Cobra. Just over 15 minutes to go.
A little elan coming up the Hamilton straight there, and then we see the E-Type number 22 of Costas Michael and Chris Ward that you just mentioned has moved up.
Just gone fastest.
It just gone, yeah, absolutely. Just as we picked that up on the camera, it had gone fastest. So would you think perhaps Chris Ward at the wheel? He's a very quick driver. Costas Michael also quick though, so it could be either one of them. And through Aintree they go, out onto the
Lovely.
Wellington Straight. Lovely slide, wasn't it?
Yeah, beautiful. That was a wonderful bit of control on the power. Just sliding gently out to the edge. This is a very beautiful looking car, and it obviously handles very well. He's got a bit of traffic up ahead that he's got to deal with. Down the inside into the left-hander with a thank you wave, which is nice to see.
He's got time to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Window open, time and space to do it, and then continues on around, trying to put together another quick lap. And he's done a better first sector once again. Although that first sector, I think it's, let's have a look. No, it's holding on at the moment. There are a few other people that are doing some pretty rapid sectors, but for now it's good. Oh, that Lotus is just a little bit in his way now, maybe just slowing him down a touch through Copse. There's not much between them though. Some of these Lotuses are pretty rapid, I have to say. I think that might be Rob Fenn who's just ahead of them, I'm not sure, and he is a front runner in the white Lotus Elan. Look at that. Oh, the E-Type gets a bit too sideways there. The Elan is looking very, very stable. Yeah, it is the number 166 car of Rob Fenn. And I think here's the E-Type's going to have to speed down the Hanger Straight to be able to nip past the Lotus, yeah. But it's a beautifully balanced Lotus, not quite as eerie to watch as the E-Type, but it's lovely watching it driven so well. Let's see how it looks through Stowe. Yeah, again, nice balance, a little bit of oversteer on exit, back end of the car sliding over. And John Spears' Tiffany Dale car's just moved up to 7th, although it's just been pushed down one again. Let's just see how this lap is completed. Are they going to go any quicker again? Across the line they go, and well, they stay on top at the moment. That was it, yeah, it's 2:28.2, so slightly better lap, and going well for them at this stage. Second place now, the Thomas Lockie car, number 192, the Cobra.
The E-Type has caught some slower cars in not the ideal place through the loop and through Aintree. Managed to get a tighter line, but now another slightly slower car, but manages to slide past the Elan on the Wellington Straight. So now a clear run down the long Wellington Straight into Brooklands.
Oh, we've got another car that's moved up to the top now though, the 27 car, Roy Alderslade and Andrew Jordan, and that is another of the AC Cobra Daytona coupes. So they've now stolen that top spot by 1.6 seconds. Here's John Davison in the TBR Griffith, running pretty strong so far in the number 88 car. He's currently 5th, on target to be 4th. See whether he can achieve it through the last couple of corners.
Yes, through the fast left and right at Club Corner. Just a few yards to go to complete the lap. John Davison, another of the competitive drivers in this TVR Griffith, and he does move up to 3rd.
Good effort. Yeah, that's all looking pretty close at the moment in the top part of the order. And this lovely mix of machinery that we're enjoying out there for now. Just see whether, yeah, there is a good first sector again coming up in the number 27 car for it's probably Andrew Jordan in the Cobra at the moment. There it is, number 27. They are finding some good performance. There's a good first sector. Now we see if he can pick it up a bit more.
Oh dear, traffic.
Yeah, that is awkward, isn't it? Got to be careful in the middle of that lot. That probably did cost him a little bit of time. Yeah, I think it has. The lap is not looking quite so rapid.
Yeah, it's very tight through that section, through Stowe Corner, but he'll have plenty of time for another lap. And I noticed that our early fastest car, that's the Thomas and Lockie Daytona Cobra Coupe, is now in the pits, so I suggest that's probably owner Julian Thomas handing over to Callum Lockie to do his part of the session, so that car may well feature in the top 3 times once again as we watch the Alderslade Jordan car.
Still fastest, but that lap was not quicker because they got a bit held up obviously. and weren't able to improve on the previous best lap that they had already done. But there are going to be more opportunities. We've got just under 10 minutes to go. Somebody's had a little bit of an off-track moment, but rejoining the fray once again. That's the Martin Melling Jason Minshaw E-Type, number 55. Let's have a look and see what happened. Oh, that's a funny lock-up. Yeah, it must have been on the brakes. It was coming down into Brooklands. So maybe when it was initially going onto the brakes there, it just lost the back end. Thankfully, though, no damage done and able to rejoin the fun and games. So another good mix of machinery heading down. As we've still got some good battles. The number 22 cars back into the pits. There's some driver changing going on. Costas Michael and Chris Ward with their E-Type. So they're doing a little swap around. One of the MGs, I think, that was just going through. The number 214, the blue car, leading this little group. That's the John Goldsmith, Anthony Wilds, Aston Martin, DP214. Interesting car, 1963. That's leading that little group at the moment.
Ollie Bryant also in there in the gold and red Cobra. And to answer your question of about 15 minutes ago, 61 cars out on track.
Right, it's 61, is it?
So we've got the full complement, the maximum number we can now have at Silverstone on the Grand Prix circuit.
Brilliant. No, it's great to see so many of them and such variety as well. A few more changes coming through, but no change up front at the moment for that potential pole position. Car 180s, the Lee Mole Joe Osborne Jaguar E-Type.
I think Lee's driving that solo this weekend.
Oh, right.
I'm not sure Joe's here. I think he's racing in Europe.
Okay.
He's a McLaren factory driver.
Let's just see if there's going to be any improvements here. We've got the number 53 car of John and Gary Pearson. They're E-Type. Seen them out in E-Type earlier on today. Let's just see what the lap is like. Across the line, stays in 11th place for now. So for now, in the classic pre-66 GT cars, up front, it is the number 27 car that is commanding the way, the AC Cobra Daytona Coupe of Roy Alderslade and Andrew Jordan, with an advantage of 1.6 seconds over the second place car of Costas Michael and Chris Ward. That's a Jaguar E-Type. So it's Cobra versus E-Type for a potential front row starting position. Third place right now is John Davison in the TVR Griffith. The three different manufacturers represented up there in the top three places so far. And that's followed by number 69 car, Michael Cullen and Patrick Shovlin. Back to an AC Cobra there. So then we've got a repeat manufacturer. Thomas and Lockie back down to 5th place in theirs for now, but a good chance perhaps that they can still find a bit of performance in the closing part of this session. Let's just have a look at who we've got coming through here. That's the 661 car, just coming through. Let's just see who else. Oh, somebody's just had a spin there. One of the Lotuses I noticed had a little spin. E-Type goes very, very wide indeed. Hopefully gets back on the track without too much of a problem. The number 22 car, that's the Costas Michael Chris Ward car. They were in the pits shortly time ago, and now they are back out on circuit once again. Place, the number 22 Jaguar E-Type for now. Let's see whether they're going to be able to find a bit more performance. There's quite a good lap coming together for the car that is currently on top, the Alderslade and Jordan car, because they have got the fastest first and second sectors, number 27 now. So the AC Cobra Daytona Coupe is stringing together a very good lap. This could be a bigger improvement for Alderslade and Jordan. Bryant moves up, Ollie Bryant, that's a good lap from Ollie.
But a massive improvement for the Alderslade Jordan car. I suspect that Andy Jordan is now aboard that. Roy Alderslade did the first stint, and they've, as you say, 3 purple sectors for them, so that's fastest in every sector.
So we've got AC Cobra 1-2 at the moment. So
of different body shapes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the Bryant car, the traditional bulbous AC Cobra, the AC Ace body shape, and he's driving solo.
that was a good lap. I think you're right, Andrew Jordan must be in the car. They've just gone nearly 3 seconds faster to take to hold on to that provisional pole position. So that is very, very quick indeed. As we keep an eye on the number 22 car, the now finding itself in 3rd place, being a contender, but it's just not quite got the performance at this stage. Davison is in 4th place. Oh, and Callum Lockie, I think, must be behind the wheel of the number 192 machine now. I think Julian Thomas perhaps was in it earlier, because now it's popped up into 2nd place with the fastest middle sector of anybody so far. Another move up the order there for the number 21 James Coddingham car. Just getting a little darker and gloomier in terms of the clouds. I don't see any rain coming in just yet. The track is still looking relatively dry, so let's hope it stays that way for the remainder of this qualifying session. We've still got several more to go. That Lotus is a bit out of shape, but just about makes it through Brooklyn safely. A gaggle of cars. We've got an MGB in the middle of that group as well. And no change up front. The order remains the same for now. See how some of these cars get really chucked into Brooklyn. Some of them are a little bit more smoothly eased into the corner. A corner that carry quite a lot of speed into, but overdo it. It's so easy to run too wide as you come back out the other side. So there is the 192 second fastest car at this point. Just put in a really good lap just now. This lap, I don't know if it's going to be quite as rapid. We've only just seen the 1st sector, and it's not been any quicker on the 1st sector this time. Bit of traffic around, that's not going to help. There's been a slight improvement in the number 46 car for Mike Whitaker, TVR Griffith. He's just moved up into 7th position.
And it looks like Callum Locke is going to get a fair bit of traffic down through Stowe Corner, although, and he runs wide anyway and out onto the damper part of the track. So this lap is not going to be that quick. Will he continue? Yes, he's carrying on, so I suspect he'll now build up to another lap when hopefully he'll have a clearer track in the 192 Daytona Cobra Coupe.
Across the line, no changes in positions right there. There's the number 27 car, fastest so far, and just putting together another lap, but that advantage just under 2 seconds is a healthy advantage to have, as the track is getting a little cooler, I think, certainly with the cloud building up again, so it may be difficult to put in any faster laps, particularly with the amount of traffic. It is about getting a clear lap as well, though, because with 61 cars out on track, it's not easy to get a completely clear run. You're going to get held up somewhere along the line, there's no doubt about it. It's just trying to judge those areas where you can keep your momentum going and not get held up by some of the slightly slower cars. That's what you're looking for. Nobody improving on their lap times at the moment, though. I see there's the odd wiper going, so potentially we've got a little bit of rain out there again.
This is a good lap from Andy Jordan if he can get past the 59 Porsche cleanly, and I think he may do, although it looks like he's backed off.
I think there's rain down there. You can see it on the camera, and I think we've got rain. Yeah, he's back into the pits.
He's come into the pits.
He's got his windscreen wipers going, so we haven't got any rain quite yet where we are, but there is definitely rain falling down at the lower end of the circuit. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see any changes now. Lap times, some parts of the track are still pretty dry, but other parts are not. And it's just a question of finishing the qualifying off. And I think our grid is pretty much set. But what a delight to see some of these beautiful little Lotuses out there. That's the Stephen Jobstel Andy Willis car, another Elan 26R. 1500, actually 1600cc engine, that one. and the checker flag comes out on the International Trophy for Classic 366 GT cars.